Yo, what is up guys and welcome to another Wild Rift video. I'm so sorry for taking so long to do this and to make a video. It has been very hectic. I'm in Australia right now and I got my setup. Take a look. I got my laptop with me and my microphone and all of that. So let me just put this back real quick. Oh, it's not sitting good. Oh god, let me fix it up real quick for you guys. So yeah, the new patch notes came out. So many people have put down comments to have me make a video about it. I know it's way too late, I know, but I'm still gonna give you guys my opinion on this because these patch notes are gonna run for like 2 or 2.5 weeks because it's New Year now, so no one is working. Let's take a look. I heard there's a lot of interesting changes, so yeah, let's have a look. I'm gonna read through them and I'm gonna say what I expect that has changed and all of that. So yeah, I'm really happy that I'm making the video already. Well, let me actually just set up my camera properly because I feel like it's not. There we go. All right, so a few balance changes for our last patch of 2024 as we head into the new year. We see Warick. I'm assuming Warick gets nerfed. So they immediately jump into the champion changes. Katarina. I'm expecting her to get buffed. She is actually quite weak, so let's take a look. It is difficult for Katarina to join the combat in late phases in the game. So we've boosted her damage. Thing is though, they have to be careful with Katarina because Katarina is the type of champion that if she's overbuffed, we all know, right? Like we all know the horrors of an overbuffed Katarina. So they have to be very careful, and I'm expecting very small buffs. We boosted her damage. If she can spot a good position to dance on the tip of her blade, she will be rewarded. So veracity, which is, what is this? I think this is just the damage of her knives overall. So this is gonna affect every ability she has. 40 plus champion level. Times 13, okay, plus 100% bonus attack damage. So it's now 15 times champion level, which means at maximum level, the knives are gonna do 30 more damage, which is quite substantial, by the way. That's quite a lot. So, oh my god, also, wait, what is this? Plus 30, plus champion level times 3%. Of ability power. Now it's times 4% ability power. So this means she skills better with attack damage and better with magic damage. My first calculation was wrong because I thought it was base damage, but she just skills better with AD and with AP. Okay, but it's especially a big buff to AP because this is a 33% scaling buff, which like this is really a big buff. I really want to emphasize how big of a buff this is. This is gonna make her hurt a lot more. So her second ability, when she throws it down, she gets bonus movement speed, is she's gonna get increased movement speed, 10% extra. And then her ultimate also gets 10% bonus AP. These two don't matter that much. These are like small buffs, but this is big. I think Katarina is gonna be back in the S tier, if not the S plus tier. Sion is gonna get buffed, and not his tankiness. He's probably gonna get some ability cooldown reductions, maybe some AD scaling, something like that is what I'm expecting. We've buffed Sion's damage in the laning phase to show off his powers to his enemy. That's what I thought. No tankiness buffs because he's already tanky enough. So his first ability, the minimum damage goes up by 10 and the maximum damage goes up by 20. Okay, just a small buff. It's actually not even that small. It's actually a pretty big buff to his damage on his first ability. And then his second ability, also does more damage, especially early game. Actually a huge buff. His level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be a lot stronger now with these buffs. By the way, guys, real quick, gotta talk about it for 1 minute. The Player First Fitness program. We've posted another transformation. Take a look at this one. Lost a lot of weight. This is also terrible lighting and all of that, but you can see he has abs right now and all of that. He's put in some big work. And the crazy thing is, you know what the crazy thing is? In this picture, he's 3 kilograms lighter than in this picture, because he's a lot more muscular now. So these pictures don't even really show how much gains this person has gotten. It's truly amazing. And this one as well, you know, George, 40 pounds, which is almost 20 kilograms down in a couple of months. If you want to be next, you know, if you want to get big and strong, get those muscles popping, fill in the form, you know, click on the link in the description or in this link in our Instagram. You're going to get this form. Just fill it in with some information. We're going to reach out to you and then we can see what we can do for you. You know, tomorrow, when I'm making this video, tomorrow is the 31st of December, but then it's going to be the 1st of January. 2025 can be your year, but you have to put in the work. We're going to be there for you if you want to. So check it out. You know, if you want to make a transformation, surprise your family, surprise your girlfriend, if you have a wedding upcoming or anything like that, you'll want to do this because trust me, and I've seen it happen myself, people are gonna tell you, wow, you know, you look good, how do you do this? And honestly, it feeds my ego quite a bit. So If you want to have that in your life as well, fill in the form and we're going to be there for you. So let's continue the video. Evelynn. Evelynn has to get a buff. However, not a massive buff. Evelynn is just like Katarina, where it's like there's this tipping place. It either tips all the way to terrible or it tips all the way to very, very good, like broken good. And we all know how broken Evelynn used to be. So Riot has to be very careful with balancing Evelynn. So I'm expecting a buff, but not too much. Evelynn is always weaker when she does not have her ult ready. So we reduced its cooldown. Oh, that's not the way you... Ouch. This is I can already tell this is a big buff. We've reduced the cooldown to find more opportunities to lure in her enemies for attacks. Okay. No, never mind. Okay. This is actually not that big of a buff. This is okay. No. This is perfect because early game, only 10 seconds shaved off the cooldown, which makes sense. So like level 5, she's already going to be pretty good. Then 5 seconds, and then late game, she's the same Evelynn as before. And then in the late game, she's already good. Like she is good. The only thing, yeah, this is good. This is great. This is actually perfect. I love this change. So now you're not going to get punished as hard when you do like an early ultimate or something like that. This is really, really good. I think this makes Evelynn A+ or maybe even S tier. Zed is actually kind of weak now. I don't really know why. Maybe he just doesn't fit the meta too well, but he's actually quite weak. I need to take away this banner, I think. Let me take it away because then you guys can see a little bit more. No, I don't need to. It's fine. I can keep it. It's okay. Let me just put the screen up a little bit then, like this. Yeah, there we go. So restrained by his energy regeneration mechanisms, it's challenging for Zed to manage his lanes and his enemies. We've adjusted his energy consumption to help him farm better in lane. And this is actually true because if you use your shuriken quite often in lane, you're going to run out of energy so often. So I love this 5 less energy cost. So like it just helps a little bit to use your first ability a little bit more in lane. And in this one, perfect. Full level 50, full level 40. So when you maximize the level, you're going to use 10 less energy, which means this is actually quite big. His full combos are going to be a lot easier. You can spam your third ability a lot more. Ramis is probably going to get buffed, is what I'm expecting. He's kind of bad right now. We've adjusted Ramis's cooldowns and damaging abilities so we can launch more frequent attacks on his enemies on lanes, while at the same time posting a stronger threat. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give it a like. Really supports the channel a lot. Put down a comment under the video for the skin giveaway too. Gonna pick the winners in 2 days for December, picking 3 winners. So put down a comment under the video. Let me know your thoughts on the new patch notes. So the cooldown of his this is his first ability, I believe. It's reduced by a lot early game. From 15 to 12 seconds, which means his early ganking is a lot stronger. Late game is the same. Defensive ball curl, sorry. This is his second ability. Attack damage with basic attacks. Ooh, he does more damage now. Based on his armor. This is a pretty big buff. So the more armor you build, the more damage he will do. Very, very good. And then the taunt, which is the third ability. The cooldown went down here too. Okay. Early game, like late game, the cooldowns are the same. It's just to allow him to get to the late game a bit easier. And then the soaring slam, also early game cooldown reduction. Oh, actually late game cooldown reduction too, but mainly early game. They're basically making Ramis a much bigger threat in the early stages of the game, whilst also buffing him just a tad bit in the late game with this scaling. So just an overall buff, which I would say makes sense for Ramis, considering the current patch. He's still going to struggle a lot against magic damage, because like you can build Wits End on Ramis, but he's mainly going to be a pick against attack damage. They buffed Malphite earlier, and now they're buffing Ramis. So clearly, they're trying to buff the tanks, which, now you guys need to listen carefully, all of this indirectly buffs Vayne. Because people are going to pick more tank Malphite now, more tank Ramis, and of course, who loves to play against Ramis? It's Vayne. Keep this in the back of your heads, guys. Vayne. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh my god, that's funny. There's Vayne. I didn't even see her. So, no way. So, I suppose even Vayne is going to get buffed now. So, clearly, I can easily see where Riot is bringing this, right? They're bringing it from the long-range meta to the short-range tank meta. They want tanks. So, some Vayne players found a method of playing her that does not suit her role. And it creates a negative, which means top lane Vayne, by the way, just so you know. And it creates a negative experience for both her enemies and her teammates. We've adjusted some of her abilities and attributes so she performs better in her traditional duo lane role. Her attack damage is going to grow harder, so 0.35 extra per level, which is a lot. Like, this is pretty big. Maximum level, she's going to do quite a lot more damage. The cooldown of her first ability, oh, ouch. Ouch, because on, ooh, this hurts. She gets nerfed. That's crazy. I mean, of course she gets indirectly buffed by this, but now she's even worse. She's terrible now. She's gonna be unplayable. I mean, this buffs her damage, but come on. The thing is, on Vayne, you always max your second ability first, unless you're in top lane. So now you're always gonna be stuck on this 4.4 seconds rather than 3.5 in the early stages of the game. So like early game Vayne is just beyond trash right now. So unfortunately, this makes Vayne terrible. I thought she would get buffed, but oh well. Tristana, I'm assuming she gets buffed a little bit in the early game. So let's see. As a marksman, that's supposed to take a little bit longer to power up. Wait, let me see if my mic, yeah, my mic is working. A little bit longer to power up. Tristana was dealing too much damage and pushing very quickly in early phases of the game. I mean, okay, I guess I get it. Okay. We nerfed her attack damage and explosive charge, so she needs more protection from her teammates in the early phase. She does 4 less damage per attack. This hurts a lot. And then explosive charge, which is that her passive? The explosion of her passive, which honestly doesn't even matter that much. But this hurts. This hurts. Tristana late game is going to be the same, but early game, yeah, you can beat Tristana pretty easily early game now because of these. Because she has lethal tempo, she heavily relies on you know, having high attack speed. So just a slight nerf on the basic attack damage is already going to hurt her a lot because you're basic attacking so much. Kalista's obviously getting buffed. She's pretty much the worst ADC right now, right after Ashe and Vayne. We know... What? We nerfed Kalista? We nerfed Kalista's damage to make it harder for her to continuously suppress her enemies in the laning phase. She will need more help from her teammates now? 4 less damage per attack, like Tristana. Basic attacks of each following spear. So she does less damage with that third ability too? Significantly less in the late game. What is that? Okay, I mean, Kalista is dead then. I mean, no one can play Kalista. I don't care about the stats and the winning percentages. And like, you know, like you have some YouTubers, they take the percentages from Chinese Wild Rift. I don't care about that. I take a look at my own experience in the game and talk about that. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys prefer that rather than taking a look at the numbers. I'm a person that just hates stuff like that. I actually look at the game and see what's good, what's not good, and then I explain it and give my own opinion on it. Warick. Warick should... Come on, like, this has to get nerfed. He's way too strong. Warick was dealing too much damage in the early phases of the game. I mean, early, late, mid, doesn't matter. We've nerfed his damage, giving some room for his enemies to fight back. Eternal Hunger. I'm not sure what this means, but whatever it means, he does a lot less damage late game. Jaws of the Beast. This is first ability. It does same attack damage, 10% less ability power, and then also 1% less maximum health. Okay, pretty big nerf to the damage. Infinite Duress, which is his second ability, has a longer cooldown now, so you can't use it as much to track down enemies. Duration of the Empowered Basic Attack after landing. Oh wait, no, this is his ultimate. Oh, this is his ultimate, so it has a longer cooldown, and you only have 2.5 seconds now for the Empowered Basic Attacks rather than 5. And then the damage goes down by a lot. 50 in the early game, and then still 50 in the late game. Same AD scaling and same AP scaling. So just so you know, he's still going to be viable. He's just not going to be as obnoxiously broken anymore, but he's still viable. He's still viable. Gameplay changes. Okay, what about this? First Strike. They have to boost First Strike. It's terrible. We boosted the damage and gold gain from First Strike, so it competes better with other Keystone runes. Okay, so it does 1% extra damage. And it, instead of giving you a base of 5 gold, it now gives you a base of 10 gold. And I would say this is a good in-between solution, because it used to be too good, but now it's just going to do more damage, and it's just going to give you just a tad bit more gold. I would expect it to give you like 50 to 80 more gold per game. Maybe 50 to 100 actually, which is good. Like, this is a good buff. Lethal Tempo. We adjusted the bonus ranged attack speed provided by Lethal Tempo to reduce its effectiveness for marksmen. Lethal Tempo was way too strong, so I'm expecting a nerf indeed. So attack speed per stack, it goes, oh boy, that's big nerf. Oh boy. Conqueror is going to be a more viable option for a lot of ADCs now. Bonus attack speed provided for melee champions remains the same. Okay, that makes sense. And that's it. All right. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you want to make a transformation in your life, in the gym and all of that, reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. Let me get the camera up here. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next HellsDevil video. Bye-bye.